I'm originally an adult literacy teacher from TAFE, New South Wales, and I went to Bondi to volunteer and was asked to support some people with their adult literacy, and went back to TAFE, and I was lucky to have an incredibly visionary and supportive head teacher, and she's here today, Fiona Francis, who recognised the value of possibly me going back and working there under a funded project. So as a result of that, lots of things have happened in Bondi, and I'll let the ladies tell you all about that. But we might start, because we can talk Jeff and the other ladies through it when they come, just so that the women are feeling okay. So most of the women, all the women speak Warlpiri and very good English, but they're actually, 3 of the 4 are going to actually speak Warlpiri for different parts of their presentation, and then repeat what they've said in English so that you get a chance to hear language. And I'll leave that up to them.
I would like to pay my respect to our country and to elders past. Nabula came to Bondi in 2010 to do volunteering work. While she was in Bondi, one of the youth workers provided us with some help, because some young workers need help with their English language, reading and writing. When Nabula returned to TAFE in Waka Waka, she wrote a funny story so she could come back to Bondi and work and write it.
So the Adult Learning Centre is probably growing much faster than sort of taking on a bit of a life of its own, and we seem to be supporting more and more people in the community, and people in the community are supporting us. So Core Media, which is Bondi and much of the Warlpiri media, have been working with the women on training them how to use their iPads, and when we recently had the Bondi Sports Weekend, they asked the women to actually wear press passes and help film some of the weekend, because they just didn't have enough people to actually film that weekend. And it was a very special weekend, because I think it was about the 50-year anniversary. And another aspect of how we're supporting other people in community is New Future Alliance, the contractors in Bondi, who are working on territory housing. The territory government are renovating a lot of the housing in remote communities. And part of their mandate is to employ a percentage of local people in the work. So they've employed some local men and on the building and construction site. So we're supporting those men with their literacy and numeracy, because there's a fair bit of maths in what they're required to do in the building.
When we had the idea to come to this conference, we had to have a money story, because what we tried the college didn't have any money. I would like to thank all the people who donated money to us: Warlpiri, Central Land Council, Centre Court, Kevin Boyd, Dominion, Muriel, Juta, Bondi Training Network, Big Shop, Michelle Russia, Louis Scott, Child and Family Unit.
Now up to this part of our painting, and obviously the women are talking about it in terms of presenting at the conference. So
Warlpiri College wang una panina ja urawana una lawanyan ana lawanyan ja warkwa ni akula bana lera hala ena na prula wang pipang lera ne prula Warlpiri prula una nang payon na Warlpiri wanga jangan pa mucho una nyang Warlpiri And before Warlpiri College, I wanted to find work and I was bored. I saw some posters about literacy and numeracy everywhere in the internet. And I was trying to find out Naprula. Trying to find Naprula because I wanted a job. Now I'm at Warlpiri College shooter, nappy, next Friday. I've learned to do many things as a Warlpiri College shooter. I am better at using computer. We have training, meeting. I work at my work diary and help people in community practicing their driver's license. If there was no work with Triangle College, I would be bored and sad. Now we are now in Sydney to attend this conference. We are happy to share stories with you people. Naprula says my special skill is helping people get their driver's license and showing leadership.
I would like to come to this conference because that people will be listening and will learn more. I'm so proud because this is my first trip to Sydney and I'm happy. Before I became a Warlpiri College, Triangle College chair, that was very thrilling and I was feeling unhappy. I would to learn anything so I used to clean the dishes and beer and work and people because I love to do work and then my brother gave me a job and I was so happy about that. If there was no Warlpiri College, I would feel sad. My brother says my special skill is cleaning, using the computers, photocopying and book finding. Everything has changed for me because I was all day sleeping, not doing anything, just normal day. Now I am a tutor at Warlpiri College. It makes me and to get up, have a shower, have breakfast, meet new people and help people. I am so happy that I got that job and Naprula does very well too. Nice and kind and friendly. Naprula says my special skills is writing, thinking ahead, being organized and responsible and translating Warlpiri and English.
I was doing the same old thing as a jury worker and I wanted a fresh idea about work. I wanted to help older people as well as young people. I am learning new skill and Naprula saying my special skill is problem solving and I am very good learning strategy. In my heart, I feel good about work and beginning in Sydney for this conference.
So Azaria now works with sort of share staff across the Warlpiri Triangle College and the Warlpiri Youth Development Aboriginal Corporation. And Azaria's, although her focus at WIDAC was for youth, she wanted to actually be supporting everyone in the community, and working as a tutor allows them to do that. The real challenge for the women was that they were reading in English, which is about their third or fourth language, and then thinking about what they needed to say in Warlpiri, so they did need some time. They did a great job. So, anybody want to ask any questions? Sure, if you want to talk about the painting and come over, the women will tell you what's what on the painting. Our aim is to probably show where these parts are on the painting at the conference, but this is our first trial run in front of an audience. So,
Just wondering, does the centre run every day, like 5 days a week?
yeah.
So same hours as tapes or?
Yeah, and if I'm in community on the weekend, we open on the weekend. Or our biggest challenge at the moment is funding. So that's probably what I'm going to spend most of my time doing now, because a lot of the funding, we don't sort of really fit a lot of funding guidelines, and the sort of training or learning that we offer people in the Learning Centre is opportunistic, and often that's not respected or valued by funding bodies. They want it to be linked to names and courses and outcomes, whereas we get real outcomes. We now employ a team of people who have very valid jobs in the community, and we support people getting their driver's licence, and that's all very valid, but it's often not recognised by funding. So that's probably the biggest obstacle we face at the moment. Yeah. And probably the people were ready to learn. People just needed a forum or an opportunity to actually engage in some learning, and probably against all my better judgment, I wouldn't have thought putting a sign up saying literacy and numeracy available, call me, would work. But you just try anything, and it's what these women saw, and actively sort of, because there wasn't an opportunity there. And you know, a lot of people leave school in year 7 or 8 or become disengaged with formal learning, and in community, when people have ceremony, then school's not a really appropriate place if you're an adult. So, and Alex here is with a company called Warlpiri, and they've got a parent and community engagement project in Yundamu. So they sort of just really hang out at the centre, and Alex has this lovely bit of yin and yang, because I'm the one that's sort of busier person. Alex sits down and gets out a bucket of paints, and people just gravitate, don't they? Come and sit down.
We've been using art to engage people. It's unthreatening, it can bring anyone together. That's the main reason behind it.
It's the Australian Council of Adult Literacy conference, and it's probably, you'd say it's probably the peak body for adult literacy in Australia, and they have a yearly conference. And so the women, obviously their role is to talk about the Learning Centre and the development of that. So I guess from an adult literacy perspective, they're supporting other people develop their literacy, and their literacy skills are improving as well. And we try and have a bit of a two-way focus, so that we also include Warlpiri in the Learning Centre, so it's not just about English language. It's really about maybe reading and writing in Warlpiri as well.
So what's the tribe of people you come from? Is it here is Gadigal?
Warlpiri.
What tribe do you belong to?
Warlpiri tribe.
Sorry?
Warlpiri tribe.